Yeah, you want to just hop into Drag the Lake?
Music, go.
That's a great place to start. Welcome to a brand new episode of Drag the Lake. I'm your host, Andy Malafrino. With me, as always, the late, great Pat the Grateful Dead. George, what was the other thing we had?
I forgot. Is it on the notes? Do you have last week's notes?
No.
God damn it.
Couldn't possibly turn to check. Pat, I actually had a...
Nope.
We're kind of... You know, one of my favorite... Oh, no, those are... Wait, stop. Some of this is my deepest, darkest thoughts. I don't want you to go to the front of it.
He's got secrets about me.
Oh, I have secrets. Pat.
Yeah.
it's just a journal entry. Pat still won't let me suck him off.
What a fucking bitch.
What a fucking bitch.
Hey. Yeah, well, I don't remember what the other nickname was. What's going on there?
It's just another tab.
We got stuff going on in the monitors, guys. You have no idea.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on in the
tons
monitors.
of production.
God, that's so funny. Sorry, people need to see that.
Yeah,
I pulled up Twitter for a certain thumbnail, and
it was this one.
Yeah, this is why you need to watch the video. This is what you guys have to see. That's good stuff. Oh shit, we need to switch it over.
No,
it's Drag the Lake.
Hey,
that's good stuff. No, so one of my favorite topics is calling out. There's a little bit No More Heroes, but one of my favorite topics is calling out conservatives for being fucking pussies.
Yeah,
but also I have some coming from. It's weird, dude. Like when I listen to music, a lot of times I go back to like who I was in high school. And I like the parameters of music and everything like that to match up with that, because that's when I fell in love with like the music I like now. Well, I didn't really listen to hardcore back in the day, but it all stems from when I learned to like really fucking love punk rock and emo and all that shit in high school. So whenever like the one of the most annoying things with me is all right, I should show him that one too. That's just for people listening to audio. I don't know.
I was trying not to react to it, but I was like,
it's hard.
Don't
not
react
to.
It. Don't react to it. And I saw your eyes dart over. You're like, you see that? Oh, that fucking guy's back.
I also have to give context to why this is a bookmark for the people only listening to audio.
Yeah, he clicked explore, and this is the first thing that came up.
It's my bookmarks.
Yeah.
And for the people, what up, Dunbar? Dunbar in the chat. I mean, it's very obviously this is a Drag the Lake episode. I mean, yeah, do we have to fucking just spoon feed you on this podcast, Dunbar? It's clearly a Drag the Lake episode. But yeah, I found this article. I don't know if this is real. I don't care. But it's from the New York Times. It said, how sucking my college buddy's penis made me a better husband and father and beekeeper. And I found that. And the reason I saved it is because the dude who owns the gym that we went to in New Jersey, his wife is a beekeeper. And I sent it to Steph and I go, send it to Joe in case he ever wants to learn how to be a better husband. But no, so back to the music and not the cool. Okay, here's what it was.
That was the thing.
Yeah, that was the thing, because like, so we talked about it, we talked about it last time on the podcast, where it's just annoying how music is, because partially because it's like, this doesn't remind me of anything that is why I love all this shit. The way people are acting now to like a difference of opinion in this, like in this and that. But then this one example, this happened a little bit ago. This one example, especially because it's in reference to a band I was fucking obsessed with in high school. It actually felt so fucking nice, devoid of your political opinion. It just felt so nice, because I was like, oh, it feels like when it was so new and cool, and it feels like the world's healing a little bit.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, oh, because for music, so I'll just bring it up actually. So, there's broader context that makes this less cool, but on the surface, I got a good reaction. So apparently, during a concert, Green Day frontman Billy Joe Armstrong was holding up a Trump mask with "idiot" on the forehead.
I didn't see what that said.
Which I think Green Day, because they were showing footage from Green Day like back in 2016. They've been consistently fuck Donald Trump, this whole time, which gives them more props because after Trump's assassination attempt, you saw all these people who are like, Trump's worse than Hitler. Trump's worse than Hitler. Oh, no. Did worse than Hitler get skimmed by a bullet? We have to be respectful of it. And it's like, no. Keep that same energy, you pussies. And it's like Green Day, I give them respect because it's like they're keeping the same energy, but then it's just the fucking same conservative opinion of just being pussies where, and now I don't know if this guy specifically is a conservative, but he might as well be with this opinion. And I saw so many other conservatives co-signing this, but it was like Green Day had a concert here in DC last night. They decided it'd be a good idea to hold up a severed Trump head just 2 weeks after he was
shit in the head.
I read it as that's what we're going with. He wrote shit in the head.
Somebody shit in his head.
These people are sick. And it hit me and I go, oh, wait a minute. Ever since the Trump assassination attempt, being a conservative, like everyone's big up in Trump, being a conservative is more popular. And like the punk rock band's complaints actually seem fucking fun again.
Yeah.
And I was like, the world's healing. Yeah. This is like punk rock in high school.
It's going back.
Because it's just been like, it's been so exhausting watching these, like all these different bands who are supposed to be anti-establishment and all these other shit. And then it's like, yeah, we're the outsiders. We're anti-establishment. Also, you should follow all the CDC regulations, and all of our opinions line up exactly with Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm glad Trump's not the pariah he used to, not the social pariah he used to be, so we can actually have fun punk bands again.
Yeah, there's been so many times where like we were, I'm sure we talked about it last week, but the Kyle Gass thing.
Yeah.
In general, that's what you're referring to. Like that is like
that was wild to me.
They a band that has the government totally sucks, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
The government it's not like they've ever been the band that you should totally take seriously or that has been pro-government or pro-establishment or any of that shit. But when you see, again, when the cards are on the table, like what actually happens, you see something like this. He's in DC, and like we've discussed this. There's been so many times people brought up Gwar, like what bands like Gwar do. What
Zach Amico had that great tweet where he's like, "Don't look if you're mad about this. Don't look up fucking what Gwar does."
Right, like that. That's somebody that has. I've seen them disembowel popes. I've seen them cut off like Osama bin Laden's tits. And the whole front part of his skin, rip his skin off.
I didn't know he had them.
Had him? Not anymore because they're cut off like Gwar.
It was just gender affirming care.
They've decapitated George W. Bush. Like there's been so many times during that period in my youth where I was just like, it never inspired me to feel violent towards them whatsoever. It was always in context with me and never taught me anything else. Like, so to say like these images are damaging, they could be dangerous, they could be whatever, they could provoke violence, any of that shit after the shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like somebody tried to shitting after the shitting of by the way, shitting him in the head is not exactly what happened. Like to put it in those words is very dramatic. And I think this goes back to the thing that we always circle back with these conversations is the hypocrisy of like these are the same people that would refer to this person as a fucking pussy. What's the word they always use
for who?
They use it now for both sides, but it's snowflake.
Oh yeah,
you're a snowflake. You're a fucking puss. You're all this other thing. You're exaggerating all this other shit, and then you do it, and then they do it, and then you do it, and then they do it. And it's just like this is not, in my opinion, it's a mask. Very clearly, it's not a severed head. It's a mask.
Yeah,
very clearly.
Yeah, they didn't.
It's a rubber mask.
They didn't cut it off a full body Trump costume. They bought a Trump mask.
But again, Gwar did it. You know how everybody's doing this thing with the Simpsons. Every time there's anything that happens,
Simpsons did it.
Yeah, Simpsons did it.
Guar did it.
Yeah, literally, Guar did this. Guar did it way before. I've seen them hold George H.W.'s severed head. I've seen them George W. Bush, Osama bin Laden, Hillary Clinton, the Pope, multiple popes.
Yeah.
There is like Guar has did this so many times in the past. What?
No, just keep going.
Oh,
We're just
yeah.
showing Dunbar's comment.
But,
Well,
yeah,
he's
but-
just reinforcing what we're saying.
But it's this thing where you're like, why you're just so then Ted Nugent goes on stage and goes, well, I'm just letting you know, if Obama comes around, I got my rifle loaded. And everybody goes, whoa. And they're look, he's inciting violence. It's like, God damn it. You know he's gonna do it. He's just poking at you. He's just poking at you. And but you're right. Their consistency has been they have been anti-establishment as far as, except for, I'm sure.
Are you talking about Green Day?
Yeah. Now this is what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
My next point was, if we Google, let's just say this was not planned. If we happened to Google Billy Joe Armstrong Democratic Party, Billy Joe Armstrong Obama White House, Billy Joe Armstrong White House, are we going to find something? Do you think? Do you want to take a bet? It's illegal here, so we won't do it. But like, let's just say a gentleman's bet, $1. I think that's what a gentleman's bet is. We can Google that next. But like Billy Joe Armstrong, anything. Is there anything? Does he actually? Let's see. Billy Joe. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's all. That's really funny. Kathy Griffin supports it. Yeah, she actually.
There was a severed head.
She actually held a fake severed head
with the blood and everything. And what did it do to Barron? That's what we were really concerned about, guys. What about the fucking children? Anything? Because I know that they were involved with the Rock Against Bush.
Yeah, here. Yeah. So, this you're kind of getting to the other thing I wanted to bring up about this, because
we didn't plan that.
We didn't.
I mean, yes, we did. I mean, we did.
You love to
Which
point
one's better.
You love to point out a moment where we're not complete retards.
Uh-huh. That's why you're watching.
You got to stop being so shocked by it.
Hey, I'm a fan of the show.
Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for listening.
I like
man.
this show.
But yeah, no, like immediately, this comes up where he's getting criticism. It says at a Green Day concert in Washington, D.C., they're registering people to vote and it's like obviously that who they're trying to get them to vote for and shit like that.
They're like, just vote for the right side,
but like,
guys.
So that was the other thing I was kind of getting at, why it just sort of at the moment felt like on the surface it was like, ooh, everything's because it just. I was a big Green Day fan back in the day, and I was just like, and I remember Rock Against Bush and stuff like that, and I was just like, oh, this all just feels normal again, or what my definition of normal was, where I was like, yes, there's actually a thing for fucking punk bands to fight against, but the problem is, because like Green Day is not completely out of the woodwork, because I know ever since they've gotten big, you just guessed and you fucking nailed it immediately. Yeah. Like they're always in there, and that comes back to the previous problem again. Is it's just what's irritating about this political stuff is it's just everyone's the same. They just do their flavor of it, so they're waiting for it to be there. That's why that's why conservatives annoy me so much, is they're just like they act like tough guys, but they're waiting for them to be more socially popular so they can just line up to be pussies about everything.
Yeah, it's not the fact that somebody is holding up a quote severed head, of Trump with an idiot on it or whatever. Like it's the fact that they're doing it. You guys should know better, which is stupid for them to say. But so this is why I think this is why I would have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with it. The only reason I could see somebody having an issue with
if you're going to do their dance,
if I'm gonna play their game, right. It's not the fact that like, how could they do that? No, that makes sense. They're a fucking punk rock band that fucking loves the other side and has openly supported and probably donated and all this stuff to the Democratic Party.
And encouraged fans to probably.
And is a way, not literally, but in a way, a representative of the Democratic Party. That's where I could say, hey guys, you can't hold up a fucking mask with a thing that says idiot on and go, fuck this guy, right?
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, so Megan Thee Stallion at the Kamala Harris thing, right?
Yeah.
Is like she was there, she was dancing, they're honing it up, but they weren't honing it up like she does at her show.
Yeah.
She had pants on, a nice sensible little thing. It was hot as fuck,
Yeah.
but it was not. And they were like, it was
She had her
slow.
midriff out. She was probably.
It was a little bit slower, it was a little bit smoother, it's sexier, but maybe not as like sluttier. It's not hollow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I
It
will.
wasn't wet ass pussy.
I will say, in the context of Megan Thee Stallion, like obviously, I'm not going to be
I would love to be in the context of Megan Thee
in
Stallion.
any. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That was still my favorite segment on the show. Just surprising you with like, so hey Pat,
Yeah.
I'm about to show you the gayest guy in human history. He was forced to watch Megan Thee Stallion les out. You know, most straight man's dreams.
Like the something that anyone watching the stream, man or woman, anybody, my wife, I'm sure would love to witness that.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Megan Thee Stallion being like, yo, you gotta record me eating some pussy, and you're like, oh, if I have to, Megan, if you're gonna make me do it.
Can I hold my phone too?
But I know there was a lot of criticism with like the Harris campaign. You saw the people making fun of it was like white guys for Harris.
Yeah,
Where
they toned it down.
I'm not getting on board with that. But if you bring out Megan Thee Stallion, I am gonna start a group called White Guys for Boners.
Yeah.
And-
If she was your running mate, holy shit, it's over, dude.
Well, that's
like, I am a retard at this point.
Oh,
like,
dude.
like I would take that.
Well, that's like that's the joke I was working on last night, where like they were saying Megan Thee Stallion's Kamala Harris is pandering to black people. I go, she's also pandering to me. And it's like, dude, I catch myself being like, oh, dude, you get swept up in the fucking wrestling of it.
Yeah,
Cause
yeah.
like, I not to go back to No More Heroes, but last week on here, we talked about Kojira at the Olympics.
Yeah.
And then when I did I'll reference them again, Already Dead, shout out Jose and Austin. When I did that podcast, they're all caught up with all the satanic symbolism.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there go like, oh yeah, dude, I don't know. Kojira fucking ripped. So I didn't even notice it. I was just enjoying metal music. And it's the same thing with this where you're like, yeah, I don't care. I mean, if pandering is going to be Megan Thee Stallion, please pander to me so hard.
We can't say those words, but I would also do both of those things for Megan Thee Stallion. Who is that again?
Lost in the Sauce
Lost in the
NY.
Sauce. Fuck yeah, dude. Like honestly,
White guys for Megan Thee Stallion for anything.
let's just say we would do anything. We would all Manchurian candidate for Megan Thee Stallion.
That'd be so funny to be a Megan Thee Stallion Manchurian
What if she just
candidate.
activated all of us? What if we were Manchurian candidate and we all watched? Okay, how do you say that?
You get
we were
activated.
we were all made Manchurian.
We hear her
candidates.
go,
And then she started dancing on stage, and we're like, dude, fucking Kamala's not that bad.
well, that's how they
I
train.
think she's actually pretty smart. I'm gonna hear her out.
That's how they trained us in the MK Ultra labs. When we hear the clapping, when we hear the clapping of her ass, it
The
activates
rhythmic.
us, and we're just like, Megan Thee Stallion makes me horny. I will vote for Kamala.
Make human candidates.
All right,
I like it.
I like it.
I can't say it, but I like it.
Oh, Manchurian candidates.
Manchurian candidate. Okay, now I said it. I got it now. You said it, and then I repeated it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like with the I don't know, with music and politics in general,
Yeah.
it like I don't want to see a band doing anything but what like Green Day or Gwar did. I don't think bands.
I like the extreme. Yeah, I like that. I would like Megan Thee Stallion to come out and just be like, I'll suck the dick of whoever votes for, you know what I mean? Like, just like, obviously we know that's not going to happen. We know that's not going to happen, but
It could.
for her to say that,
Megan. It could. We don't. I mean,
you know,
not a.
there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be like, that's not okay. But some of us, Megan, have you on our bucket list.
Megan, please. That's not okay. Are you serious though?
Yeah, but
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how much is this a joke?
we know that you never deliver on campaign promises, but this one though, I'm very concerned with this issue.
No,
Are we gonna get subject 69 under wraps or?
it's what irritates me about when people look at, and you guys know I'm more extreme on the political opinion, I don't think I am, but in context to like the average person, I can come off more extreme on my political opinions. But it's like, you know, I look at the government as a thing of like, well, if we're gonna fucking have it, it's not a matter of like, because people always get bogged down with, we just need the right person to get in there. You know, and it's like, I look at government like a fucking cancer. Are you going to get the right kind of cancer in there? So it's like, whenever I see a band being like, this guy's better, it's like that, you're just wasting your fucking time.
By the way, it's sentences like that make people think that you're very passionate about politics. When you go government's like a cancer, that makes people believe that you are involved in politics, I would think.
Oh, that's what I was admitting to on No More Heroes.
Yeah.
Is acknowledging my dorky and fag status. I don't know. I just think I might sound radical. I just think I'm speaking the truth, brother.
It's one of those things. Yeah, it's
about
it is the
perspective.
lesser of two evils. Yes.
From my
Megan the Stallion is way less evil.
No, I get it. From my perspective, I'm not saying anything crazy, but from other people's perspective who aren't like hip to, or not hip. That sounds fucking retarded.
Cool as shit.
Yeah, they're not like the smartest fucking guy to ever exist.
Right.
No, they just don't see it from my vantage point. So that stuff sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Which is completely fair. My opinions have been considered crazy on a lot of things, and I'm used to it.
Andy's opinions do not represent those of his opinions on the show.
Yes, I've been lying this whole time.
Yeah, he doesn't believe any of this shit.
I'm a character. I'm actually a Filipino boy. But
ask him to sing a Journey song. Go ahead. He can do it. The Filipino singer from Journey. Do
you mean Queen?
No.
Oh, they both got Asian singers.
Wait, no, Queen's not an Asian guy. I thought that was a guy from American Idol. Yeah, Adam Lambert.
He's not Asian?
Is he Asian?
Looks pretty Asian.
Is he black though?
All right. Now for our new segment on Drag the Lake, figure out the singer's race.
Is that gay guy black or Asian? No, I don't know if Adam Lambert is Asian. Is he Asian? Did you put Asian? Question mark? Also put in fappening too. I want to
American singer.
American. Good.
I mean, American's a state of mind.
Yeah.
Don't matter what.
Best male pop vocalist performance. What is this?
He's from Indiana.
State your fucking ethnicity, please. Why ain't it on Wikipedia?
I'm just gonna do what you said.
Yeah, Asian? Question mark. So though it's not racist. Okay, we know he's American, but is he like Asian American? He doesn't. With all due respect, he doesn't look Asian. Not that that's not it's not a good thing or bad thing. What do you got?
All right.
Okay.
Adam Lambert. You've heard it here first.
Can you say that?
Not Asian.
Can you say that?
Father was English, Norwegian, Irish, French, Danish, German. Mother, Ashkenazi.
Go ahead. Ashkenazi.
Really, it's really funny.
They have Nazi in it? Really?
I was just gonna say that there's really funny that there's a sect of Jews with Nazi at the end.
Is that like a thing they're taking it back or something?
Ashkenazi Jew.
Or were they called that the whole time?
All right. All right. I take it back.
Not Asian.
Adam Lambert, not Asian.
Now the lead singer of Journey. Go ahead. Asian? Question mark.
Let's do it.
I like Googling this. Being in the same room is a lot better for Drag the Lake, I feel like. New segment. Are they Asian?
I like this segment, dude.
It's not offensive, right? Like
new segment.
Asian's the okay thing to say, right? We can say Asian.
It doesn't matter.
There's the other thing.
It doesn't matter. I just gotta fucking know.
Yeah, you should hear how fucking hard he's pounding the keyboard right now. Is he fucking Asian?
Lead singer of Journey,
Asian? Question mark? Not racist now. Aha!
Arnell.
That's not him.
What?
That's an advertisement. Say the name. If he's trying to say the name, that's definitely something.
Arnell Campaigner. Oh, dude.
We're saying politics.
He's in the DNC.
Yep.
His middle name is literally Campaigner.
We know what mask he's holding up.
Panita is a Filipino singer and songwriter. All right.
That's technically Asian.
All right.
I'm winning.
You're 2 for 2 on Are They Asian?
Yes.
I'm 1 for 2 on Are They Asian?
That's the Florida in me, baby. Woo.
All right. Next, Seal.
I feel like this is a trick.
Next, all right. Seal and Akon.
He's a Nazi Jew, just like the Lambert fella.
Oh, by the way, this could actually be Oh, it's okay. I have 9,000 Zyn containers. I went from. I'm such a phony. I went from shitting on Zyn to just being like, oh yeah, I do them constantly, or else I will.
Work.
Bro, I gotta do it. It's like I can't. There's nothing more I like in this world than a chill hang and a lot of cigarettes.
Is Zyn Asian?
Asian.
Wait.
Is it Asian?
Here, help me out while I look this up.
Twitter.com.
But no, actually, this is a fun.
Is that you just wanted me to dictate what you were typing?
No,
Is that what you meant?
There's probably a Twitter account on here called Is He Asian?
No way.
I
If
wouldn't-
there isn't, there is now.
Did you hear about, dude?
Somebody squat on that for us real quick.
Oh, dude, I don't want to play the audio. I don't. Well, he sings. So
Oh.
there's this new thing.
I'm very interested in what's about to happen.
Those Zins will
I'm
get
not-
you, dude. Yeah, I think I'm just going now. Well,
What does that mean?
I'm treating Zin. Well, the problem with the young generation is it can Boomer Andy show up. The problem with the young generation is they're getting on Zins and vapes. They're starting on Zins and vapes, and they're like big upping them, like, oh my god, we love nicotine. And it's just like, no. You go to Zins and vapes because you have to stop smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Start smoking.
There's supposed to be an alternative.
This is Andy's message to the kids out there. Start smoking cigarettes like a fucking adult. And
Yeah.
then when that becomes a irreversible problem, begrudgingly switch to Zins.
Yeah, grow up and smoke cigarettes, you idiot nerds.
Fucking stupid kids.
It's cool too. It looks so cool and it feels
No,
even
but there's
cooler.
this new there's this
Isn't that crazy that we wouldn't get kicked off for that?
what?
But if we said fucking shit himself or whatever, what was the other thing that we're not supposed to say? Never mind.
Well, no,
Akon, what's going on with Akon?
he
This guy?
tweeted shoot himself.
Come on.
Sorry, I
you can't
didn't-
say it. Shit.
I
I almost farted at that exact moment just now, by the way.
oh, wait,
I won't do it.
I'll do a quick whitest kids you know sketch. No, you're not allowed to say shoot the president. You can't say that. That's not what
Mark it down. You're
I
gonna
don't
take
want
it out.
people to say that. I don't think it's good.
No,
I actually genuinely don't.
I don't either.
I don't like civil wars, so please don't shoot the president.
Right.
Yeah, controversial opinion here.
Yeah.
On what podcast is this? I almost said pains in the mouth. Drag the lake. Don't shoot the president. Controversial opinion. But no, there's
Yeah.
this new trend.
But smoke
There's this
cigarettes.
smokes. Two things kids should do:
Never, ever,
never ever shoot the president.
never.
Smoke cigarettes. It builds character.
Once you're old enough, children,
Once you're old enough, or
cool enough.
there's a cool, or a gas station that a really cool Arab guy works at.
Dude, every town has
Every
a drive-through
town.
thing where they're like, it's like, you are 21, right? And you're like,
Of course, I'm 21.
No, dude.
I told you I don't. I forgot. I just.
No, dude, where I grew up, it was, you are clearly a kid. Here are your cigarettes.
yeah. Here you go, child.
Here you go, young boy. Have fun with your camel lights.
Yeah.
Every town's got the cool ass Indian or Arab dude that'll sell you cigarettes.
Oh,
Don't
man.
worry.
Oh,
I guess for legal reasons, don't smoke cigarettes, kids.
no, do it.
But no, there's a new trend that there's this streamer. I want to say Uvalde, but that was the school shooting. It's something Italian. It's something Italian.
Uvalde.
Vitali. Yeah, Vitali.
Okay.
So he got pop. I mean, he's one of those YouTubers that's like gotten real popular. People find out a horrible thing about him. He kind of like loses his popularity for a little bit. Then he comes back and does another thing with a group that didn't know he did the awful thing.
Yeah.
And I think he's one of those guys. I could be wrong, but his new thing he's popped up with, he goes pedophile hunting with rappers.
Huh.
So he's had, and it's very funny. Like literally, he was doing one with Ty Dolla Signs, and Ty Dolla Signs is like helping him beat up the pedophile
Jesus.
and lighting a blunt.
Well,
That's a weird part to say Jesus on.
I don't know. They're just beating him up. They're not like trying to like ascertain him or like take him to jail or anything.
Oh no! They're not worrying about any legal procedures.
Oh, geez.
They're just
Wow. This
they're
seems
just-
unhinged.
they're just entrapping pedophiles and
And they're just filming and posting the evidence of this.
yeah, and they're just beating up pedophiles.
I'm not like against it. Like I'm not against them beating up people
No,
that are
well,
trying to.
You're kind of getting at the big complaint that everyone else is having, where
the
you're like,
legalities of it.
'cause
That's assault.
the
still.
problem with what they're doing.
Don't make me root
That's-
for him.
That's so funny. I don't beat up the pedophiles. I don't care.
I don't know. It's just like it's weird to film it. It's like everybody got so pissed off about bum fights, and I was like, I liked bum fights because they were like, "Hey, we'll pay you money to fight," and they're like, "All right." You know what I mean? Like I didn't like the bum
voluntary
hunters.
exchange.
Yeah, it's like it's a business, a small
Yeah,
business.
Yeah.
And then and always the thing about it was if you don't like them paying bums to fight, then like do something about the homeless problem.
Yeah.
Like you know,
Well,
like which I also think is a good idea. I don't think you should make them fight, and I don't think you should abuse or harass them, which they did also do in the bum fight videos.
Yeah.
But the actual bum fighting was kind of fun.
Well, I don't know
gross. A lot of times very gross.
I think I approved of every part of bum fights top to bottom. No problems there with Andy. Now it was.
I think I have the DVDs. You want me to go get them?
Yeah, go get the DVDs.
This is a fun bit now. You want me to go get them?
You want me to leave the podcast?
You want to go get it?
Yes.
I
No,
don't have that handy.
I remember
Sorry.
bum fights is not one I got into hardcore because I think I watched 1 or 2 and I was like, this doesn't feel good.
I watched 1 and 2.
And then you bought 1 and 2.
Yes, I do have them. I also have Terrorist Killers and Middle East Wackos, which is just a bunch of like Faces of Death versions of like Middle Eastern people getting executed or shot.
Jesus Christ.
It's crazy.
God damn.
I watched that in my formative years.
But I think you were getting at it.
I'm getting it now. I'm like, this is more self-reflection.
Oh, that's why I have very
That's-
little compassion towards humanity.
That's why when I saw those homeless people on the ride home today, I was looking directly at their dog, going like, "That poor fucking dog. Those fucking dog is just suffering." And I'm like, those people are making that dog suffer.
Yeah, this was a very funny one. They had one with Lil Pump, and
Yeah, was he? Yeah, so I was
They
gonna
had
say
one-
that. Is it the one? Yeah.
they had one with Lil Pump, and then they shaved the guy's head, and then made him do the 1 chip challenge.
Yeah.
And it's this weird thing where you're like, yeah, fuck pedophiles, but like this should go. It feels like you guys should go about this in a more procedural, like legal process, because
Right.
that I think is you were kind of getting at it before, and I think I haven't looked into it, but it just seems like a solid complaint. I think the way they're going about it is like, okay, yeah, you're exposing these pedophiles, but it is also beneficial to hopefully get them locked up
Yeah.
and get them on a fucking list.
So like stop
and,
them.
and I think the process they're doing it's making it hard. It's making it so you can't arrest them. And now you've got an ultra hip to it pedophile who's probably not going to get caught next time, or it's going to be harder to get him. So I think in the long run, this is not helpful. But in the age of
Is
content,
it entertaining?
it is incredibly entertaining.
Do I completely condone it? Nah. Like I just don't necessarily think you should.
From a
do this.
crime and punishment standpoint, do I condone it? No.
honestly, and
But
you know
from
what? I
laughing
haven't
on a
seen this.
podcast?
Yeah, I haven't seen this yet, so I cannot say if I condone this or not yet.
But yeah, this is the
So far,
Pat, for the people listening, just
like
tell me what you see out of the gate.
right now, I see some nice. It looks almost like a golf course, possibly, and I say that because I see an African American gentleman. I believe he's black, actually. I think
That's
what we're
Akon.
supposed to say.
That's Akon.
Okay, you don't know that yet. He hasn't turned around, but it's a black guy wearing a white polo shirt, collared shirt, and it looks like a Kango hat.
Yep.
Front, and then a person that looks to be in somewhat of a islander type, like Hawaiian, maybe
Dressed up as
Samoan,
yeah, he's wearing traditional.
like somebody that you would see maybe at a touristy place in Hawaii doing a fire dance.
Yeah, so that's where we're
Wearing
starting.
a fun hat, some face paint, kind of looks like a Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
So
You heard a little bit
okay,
of
so there's
audio.
police here. That's cool.
Yeah, so Akon's playing his song where he's like, "You getting locked up," and
I like that.
the guy's getting arrested.
Okay, I love this.
Yeah,
I gotta say, I condone this 110% because
Yeah.
there's police involved, and this guy's in flip flops, so you know he wasn't planning on running.
yeah. He's planning on having a relaxed day with his kid.
And I'll even go this far. I think you should turn the fucking camera on and show the guy's face. Maybe you're innocent until proven guilty. That's another thing that we should probably point
Well,
out.
they got to get the angle. You see the cameraman really like working the groove.
Yeah, and the fact that the cops haven't pushed them away or told them to stop at all yet is pretty funny because maybe they're Akon fans and they
Yeah.
want. They're like, all right, so we're gonna get this guy in the car. And we're gonna get back. and
No,
get
I hear it.
Akon's-
Even I don't even listen to Akon that much. But if Akon showed up during my pedophile arrest, I
Yeah.
would definitely be like,
be like,
"Hey, can I get a picture real quick, Akon?"
my life is ruined, but can we do my mugshot with him?
It's so goddamn funny.
So is that the
It's the
YouTuber? That's the YouTuber in the Hawaiian getup?
he's a what's the
I don't mean to
um,
be culturally insensitive.
no, what's the fucking website? Kick. He's a Kick streamer, which it's like Twitch, but you can arrest pedophiles on
That's
it.
what you do before you Twitch. Somebody kicks you, and then you start twitching.
Yep.
A dad joke. Yeah.
I
I'm
got
on it. I'm on one today. I'll tell you what.
No notes, Pat.
I know.
No
just,
notes.
just that one, and also maybe like Guar did it.
Quar did it.
'Cause
Yeah.
I really do feel like that. There's a thing. I bet if we really do like most of the things that artists are getting canceled for, except for using hard R's. The guy that got caught on the doorbell camera, the country singer that's saying the hard R's.
He was at like a bar or something, right?
No, I think he was out going to his house. It was like his neighbor's ring camera.
Yeah.
Like he was going into his apartment or whatever or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But either way,
I remember there was one country singer that there was like footage from a bar, but he was like getting dropped off by his friends, but he was hitting an A. It wasn't
Oh,
an
it was
angry
A.
ER.
Okay, yeah, this
Yeah, like, he's blacked out having fun.
yeah. So either way, but it's like one of those things of like people getting canceled now. Aside from using like that kind of language, I don't think there. But like most of the shit where people are like, he tried to insinuate this is or whatever. I think there's going to be a lot of that stuff. But I think that if maybe we could get maybe if one of our presidential candidates could go on one of these pedophile hunts, that
Yeah.
would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. That'd be pretty rad.
What?
That would definitely be. I'm just bringing up the next thing. That would definitely be a pretty chill vibe.
Yeah, that I think that would be cool. Or like,
It would help the vote, honestly.
yeah, dude. I would say a person that supports hunting child predators. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I'm not talking the
be
children.
a big change of pace for the government.
I'm not talking about predators' children. I'm talking about
Yeah, he's a hardworking.
Hilda-
Predator's a hardworking American.
yeah. And honestly, I don't think we could even probably defeat predators' children. So
Yeah.
we're just going to focus on child predators. That's my campaign speech. Not children, not predators' children, but child predators. I got to remember. I got to
Love it.
focus that.
Something about that quick word switch of just going predators children is making me laugh so fucking hard.
Yeah.
No, I before we get into this other thing I wanted to bring up from Twitter, did you get a chance to listen to that Better Lover song I sent
I
you?
did. And I got to tell you, it's all right.
Yeah.
And I did see that they released another 17 shirts with this song. That was pretty cool.
Oh, I forgot the
My God, these guys are unstoppable.
Well, I will
They're
say
worse than Bucky's. at
I
this
think
point.
it's in that camps mentality because
Man, oh, man.
I've been getting, and this is one of my favorite parts of Austin. Really appreciate the Every Time I Die shirts. Oh, I always love to give this tip out to the bros. If you're trying to meet new friends, get some Every Time I Die shirts because cool bros will not hesitate to stop you and go, "Is that an Every Time I Die shirt?" And then
Yeah.
you've just found a new best
And
friend.
you go, no.
I've gotten so get away. You're like, pretty clearly says Every Time I Die. But no, I think because the one thing I love about my wife is she likes to get drunk and then order me new T-shirts off of
Nice.
Every Time I Die's website. And Every Time I Die for a band,
They still have new shirts there too.
Yeah, dude.
What is going on with these
Like,
people? We
every-
know it's you. We know you're the same people. It's the same people. It's basically it's Jordan. It's the guy from the other thing, and then no, actually, it's just Jordan, isn't it? It's Jordan. That's who it is.
He's
I don't think
making
I'm
T-shirts.
projecting a lot on these bands, but I think it's just Jordan Buckley. And you know what? Now I'm starting to see what Keith was talking about.
There was a funny art. I didn't read it, but there was a very funny article. Why is it so hard to find Every Time I Die's website?
I don't know. How's your wife doing? Does she have it bookmarked?
I don't know. I think she just gets like,
That sounded like I was like coming at your wife for somebody. Like, how's your fucking wife doing?
oh, the lady who's significantly smarter than me.
Can you just put it in everytimedied.com?
I guess.
It's got to be that, right? Are they still paying for that domain?
They're selling T-shirts on it, so they probably
They
are.
better be. So wait, she's buying you more every time I die shirts? That's so funny. Don't tell anybody. Let's fucking get this. Buy it. It's available, guys.
Let's see if it's .net. No.
Wow.
All right. So my wife has the
She's
hookup.
buying you bootleg fucking every time I die or Etsy every time I die shirts.
No, they're authentic. But no, she's like on the email list and they just keep putting out fucking shirts. But I still like the band and they still rule. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to tell her to not stop getting these fucking shirts. But I think like Better Lovers is using the same t-shirt mentality. I don't know though. You have a very strict songs to shirt ratio.
Just like a fan base. Like be a band for a while. Now they have been a band for a while, so I'd say they've earned the shirts they had up till now. But like Jesus Christ already. I saw the thing for Better Lovers. They're saying like, oh, we're announcing this. And then they're like, hey, we got this album coming out. The pre-order is August 8th, I think it is, or something like that. It's later in August, a week or so from now. And then I think it comes out in like October, right?
Oh, I
It's
didn't
like-
know that.
It's like forever. So like when I saw Bud, they're like, hey, Bud, don't worry, that gives you plenty of time to buy 700 shirts. And we got them.
They're like, don't worry, we have a t-shirt for every day until the album comes out.
Yeah, it's crazy. Look at that. Look at that shit. Holy crap.
That's not crazy.
That's a lot.
What do you mean?
Oh, wait, those are all vinyl. Okay, never mind. But that's a lot of vinyl. But the vinyl people are nerds. It's okay. You want
some
all
of
that
these
stuff.
bands.
No offense.
Well,
I'm not yucking your
I
yum.
get it from a band standpoint because I think when you're in a band like this,
A band point.
yeah, a band point.
Yeah.
When you're in a band like this, when it's just doing the shows and album sales, and if you have any album sales and streams and stuff, you're not making like an income to live off of. And I've heard this about a lot of people with like artistic endeavors is you slowly start to realize you've become a t-shirt salesman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
So-
mean, they got
A lot of these are front and backs too. I didn't realize this at first. That hoodie is a front
Oh.
and back.
so that
that's
only
1, 2,
ends up
3,
being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 new shirts, 1 new hat. What is that? Is that like a bracelet?
Looks like a bumper sticker.
Man, oh man. these guys.
But anyway, this but
They've been doing a lot more touring. They've been doing a lot. So but I just saw this. I'm like, okay, one song and a bunch more merch. But okay.
But wait, let's
They
talk
got
about
a new album. coming.
let's talk about the song.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about the song?
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I want to give it more listens just because the first one that they put out was just such a fucking awesome song that
I'm
I
talking
know,
about like the very first song.
yes, and I'm saying I know that was a while back. That was probably like 700 shirts back, something like that. So it's not like they're not passionate. I know they have it in them, and I like it, but not necessarily hit me. It didn't hit me the same the first time I listened. So I would like to give it a couple more.
Was it because I just put on the DTL R&R page where you can see some reaction videos over there. I just put up a video for it, and I think I get where you're coming from, because one thing I sort of pointed out after I finished the listen, because while I was listening to it, I was stopping and like finding all these cool little tidbits in the song.
Mhm.
But the one thing you notice from the first listen is why it may be underwhelming to some is it does stick to a pretty standard song structure.
Yeah.
And it's not up until the end do you experience sort of like a weird rhythm or like a weird time signature. And that is having a band of you got Will Putney, who's in like bands like End, Fit for an Autopsy, and a bunch of like weird bands like that. You got the former lead singer of the Dillinger Escape Plan, and you got 3 dudes from Every Time I Die. You're almost expected, because based off their previous catalog, you're expecting a little bit weirder shit. So I think it was weird out of the gate to kind of hit you with a standard rock influenced metalcore song. But I think like what really got me was I love when bands find ingenuity based off sort of a typical thing you hear. So the big complaint a lot of times with like metal or hardcore bands is they start to sound the same, because when they become very breakdown centric, And like a lot of the more, I think the term slam, but like bands like We Like Tsunami, is they've figured out a way to tune low so they can incorporate a few more chords on their breakdowns, do like a dum 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 dum. But it's still, you're still limited in when you're playing a lot of breakdowns, you're still limited in hitting that like open string. Because you do a lot of like, I know drop D, but whatever the equivalent, you do a lot of drop tuning, so you can hit that open chord and it be one coherent sound. And I thought from an artistic standpoint, I thought it was really cool how on the beginning of the song they're just jamming on the open chord, and then for a while, the same way you'd listen to like an old fucking Ramones song, and they would just, you'd be like, they're still playing the same chord for like a couple measures, and then they would hit you with like. So like that was doing a lot for me.
Yeah.
But I also get it from your standpoint where like from a songwriting structure, there was a slight underwhelming factor to it.
Also, Andy, I don't know if this is a factor or not, but one of my Bluetooth headphones doesn't work anymore, so I threw it away at the HEB.
And I do think Better Lovers should have been more mindful of how your Bluetooth headphones
Honestly,
work.
they should have said like, well, let's give Pat a left only earbud version so that he can really take this in, because he might not get a chance to listen to it in the car. But but yeah, it was kind of like, it wasn't like I didn't hate it by any means, but it wasn't like when you were like, oh, this fucking rips. It was kind of like, it wasn't like it oversold it or anything, because I do think they rip. I think the band themselves rip.
Very strong,
but not their
riff
shirts.
writers.
Very strong fabric in those shirts, though. Those don't rip. But they. I think it's gonna grow on me a little bit more, or not, or just maybe it's not the. It's just kind of funny. Like it wasn't like. I wonder if, like, I know they'll have more like really great songs on the album and everything like that. I would assume. But like there's a weird thing where I wonder if they blew their load by putting that first song out when they did.
Yeah, I hear what you're
Like
saying.
they
It's hard
broke
to
the band big, and then they were like, and then we got some other songs. Not that they're not good songs, but they're not like, they weren't like Knock Your Dick in the Dirt, where you'd be like, we got a new fucking full length album coming.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
We know that
I hear what
you're on there.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying from like from your perspective, where you like the earlier,
yes,
you like the earlier stuff better. I
well, Better Lovers.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty funny to say. Like they haven't put a full length out to be like, I like their earlier stuff. But you mean in context of all bands? You mean
what?
Is that what you mean? Like I like the earlier stuff better, or their earlier stuff better?
Their earlier stuff.
Oh yeah, I just think it's funny they haven't put out an album yet. Like.
But they've put out like
songs, yeah.
Yeah, they've put out enough songs to play like a fucking festival set.
They've been playing shows.
So
I'm not like, I know they have the songs, but from what I've heard, I haven't seen them live. So
yeah. But yeah, I can see it from the context of like their earlier releases. You kind of out of the gate like them better.
Yeah.
For me, this sounds like a band like. It sounds like a band that's become more familiar with each other and their songwriting tendencies and stuff like that. And it just has, it has a fuller sound and like a more thought out sound. Cause I think the earlier stuff was very good, but it was kind of like, oh, this is the first run of the band. This is us getting to know each other as a band.
Yeah.
This like, that sounded like a bunch of dudes who are good at music. This sounds like, okay, we're kind of a unit now.
Let's test this motherfucker. Let's redline this bitch a little bit. Let's see where we can take it. And then we'll go like, all right, well, now we'll make modifications and grow together. And
it got me pretty pumped for this album.
Yeah, I think I'm excited. I was excited for the album when I heard the band announced, both Many Eyes and Better Lovers. Like both of them, I'm excited to hear a full length album of theirs, at least one for sure. And then I am really interested to find out which takes off, which like where this whole thing goes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think right now, just because it's probably more so just because they've gotten more touring and stuff in. But I think there's something about
also Andy's new band too.
I think that I'm excited for too. But I think Better Lovers has sort of an edge up on like perception, I think, because Better Lovers feels like there's 3 dudes from Every Time I Die. Better Lovers feels like there's more there. Like, what are these guys doing? And now, this may not be a fair analysis, but perception is what it is. Many Eyes, you
I
look
think
at
it's
that.
pronounced anal ISIS.
Many Eyes, what?
It's pronounced anal ISIS.
Sorry, I forgot what I said.
You were talking about the analysis of the Better Lovers and Many Eyes.
Oh,
albums.
okay. Thanks for that, dude.
Yeah.
Um,
Same topic, idiot.
yeah, no,
What a
fucking,
fucking moron.
sorry.
Can you believe this dickhead? I just try to help his grammar a little bit, and all of a sudden he's like, "What? You're getting us off the rails."
Yeah, sorry. I was just in the middle of a thought. My fault. My fault, Pat. I'm such an asshole. But I think when you look at and it may not be like a fair analysis, but when you look at Many Eyes, I think the thing that comes to people's head is they look at that and they go, Keith's band.
Yes,
And it's that just feels less fun than there's the metalcore supergroup and there's Keith's band.
yeah, because you have elements from Dillinger Escape Plan and Every Time I Die.
And Will Putney. And
Yeah.
Will Putney, if you know anything about him, he's just like he's produced one of your favorite. If you're into this music, he's produced one of your favorite albums.
Yeah. So, do you think either band in that same vein will ever get to a point where they're not Keith's band and or metalcore supergroup?
Yeah, I think they both have the strong potential to do that.
Yeah.
It's just they're more former Every Time I Die in our minds. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example. I can't, because there's been a bunch of bands that, what's this guy gonna do next? And then Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl is Dave Grohl, lead singer of the Foo. Like, when you think of Dave Grohl, you kind of go lead singer of the Foo Fighters, who also played drums in Nirvana. I think a lot of people, when they think of Dave Grohl as the guy who's like, he's really good at music, he's good at all these things, he's a funny guy. Also, he's the drummer of Nirvana.
Yeah.
So, it's like, but for a while, the Foo Fighters were the drummer of Nirvana's new band. I think it's a matter of just kind of sticking with it long enough and establishing your own. I feel like it's like you establish that you have a life outside of this main thing everyone knows you for.
So this is maybe a controversial question. Aside from like diehard Foo Fighters fans, which we know they're out there, weirdos, where that's your favorite band.
There's a lot of
you're fucking weirdos, but
there's a lot of flip flops and cargo shorts to be sold.
You and the Red Hot Chili Peppers people that are like, oh, that's my favorite band. You guys are fucking weirdos. We're not saying you're wrong. That's subjective. I just think you're definitely weirdos. But there's a thing where is it not Dave Grohl's band?
What?
Like, is it not still? Because we've had this discussion before, and it's a world famous clip on Instagram. The Dave theory, where if the Dave leaves the band starts to suck. So like Dave Grohl, if he ever left, like the drummer dies, they go like, pop this new guy in, we're going.
Yeah.
Pat Smear comes in and out, he's in and out, whatever. The actually one of the guitar players now, and I don't know if he's one of the longer running guitarists, but I think he was in No Use for a Name for a while.
In what? Foo Fighters?
Yeah.
Really?
He's in with the
dude. I love to find out about. I know we shit on the Foo Fighters, but you love to find about a punk rock come up like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm not even shitting on No Use for a Name, but if that's your main thing, financially, it's going to be a little rocky. So to find out a dude from No Use for a Name is in Foo Fighters, you're like, hell yeah, dude, your hard work paid off.
Playing arenas and fucking all over the world. So, but they're like, and again, hardcore Foo Fighters fans know their names.
Yeah,
and I love No Use for a Name. I think his name's Chris something. You know what I mean? But like, if they were sick and never made any show ever again, nobody would know.
If Chris,
with all due respect to Chris, if Chris was never in the Foo Fighters, again, So is it not Dave Grohl's band, or did Dave Grohl just turn the Foo Fighters into an incredible band? Because I think it's still Dave's band.
I gotta wonder.
They just don't call it that anymore.
I gotta wonder because, so you guys can tell from our jokes, we're not super locked into the day to day of the Foo Fighters. But when their drummer Taylor Hawkins,
all due respect to him,
when he when he passed away,
yeah,
it was a thing of like, oh, this is a different band now.
yeah,
I don't know if the other guys in the Foo Fighters are like that, because you do get some bands where like we talked about Green Day today. They're not the best example because it's only 3 core dudes.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of another band because there are certain bands where if like you get 2 members that are really poignant.
Yeah.
It's
usually a lead singer. Usually a lead
it's
singer.
almost
is one
always
of
a
them.
lead
Yeah,
singer because that's the guy they hear singing all
right.
the time.
That's why that other band, Many Eyes, is Keith's band. Because it's like
so yeah, and there are a lot of I think it depends on how you develop the band, because if we go back to Every Time I Die, you know, the question was like, do they start without Keith? And then the second you ask that, do they keep going without Keith? And then the second you ask that question, you're kind of just like, well, Keith's not the only, you know, they have such distinct guitar riffs. It's obvious Keith's not the only element of that band. But then at the same, now they got new drummers and bassists all the times, and it wasn't a big deal.
It was a rodeo.
But if they get rid of, if
Wait.
Every Time I Die got rid of Jordan or Andy, then you're like, that's not Every Time I Die.
You've lost more of your identity.
So I think it's more about the band members themselves. But there is a huge factor where it's like, it's not Dave Grohl's band, but it also is kind of Dave Grohl's band.
Yeah. So I guess if like, as long as Dave signs off on it, because it's like Bruce Springsteen. I can't say his name. Bruce Springs. That's my
I got
new vocal
whatever you
exercise.
got.
It's my vocal exercise now.
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen had a funny hat.
when he goes, when it's him and the East Street Band, whatever. But like
The E Street Band can be anybody.
you know what I'm saying? Like if they go like, oh my god, we got a different drummer tonight. It's not Max Weinberg. It's literally any other drummer in the world.
There's one guy that shows up. There's one guy that shows up to the Bruce Springsteen show being like, did you fuckers get a new sax player? I'm out of here with this bullshit.
You need to respect Clarence. Wait, was that Dave Matthews Band? Either way, it's Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
If fucking the bass player is like he can't make it that night, he's sick. If anybody knows those songs, it's gonna be fine.
No, that's fair.
It's gonna be just a different, because it's like they're at least honest with it. Foo Fighters should be the Dave Grohl band. It should be it, because there's those people that, again, you're calling it the Foo Fighters, but it's also if the Red Hot Chili Peppers guy. That's something that I think. Let's say the Red Hot Chili Peppers. If Flea wasn't there, he has a very distinct way to play. The dickhead that plays the guitar,
John Frusciante.
That's what I said. He's got a very distinct way to play guitar.
They did put,
Will Ferrell plays drums for.
Who's the dude that it was the guy from Jane's Addiction. He was in the band for a minute, but then they eventually brought back John Frusciante.
The guy from Tattoo Wars.
Yeah, Ink Dickheads.
Tattoo Wars.
What's her
Dickheads, yeah.
What's her name?
Cat Von He. Now you like to be able to touch me, huh? See?
I've always wanted to touch you.
It comes in very handy. Fuck, what's his name? God damn it. I know his name. He's please help me in the chat. God damn it. What is this fucking dickhead's name? He always has his shirt open. White Lenny Kravitz. Who's White Lenny Kravitz? The douchebag that plays guitar. Used to do heroin, he says. I don't think he ever did heroin, by the way. He was always very healthy looking boy. What's his name? That guy. That's the fucking guy. Who's that fucking guy?
I'm still obsessed with Cat Von He.
Joel.
Why would it not be in the first sentence?
Dude, you know who we're talking about.
Dave Navarro.
I don't like that. Oh, he's so gross looking.
Oh, dude, he's everyone's goth aunt.
Hi, I'm here to tattoo you. Did you have an appointment today?
That's a really cool Ed Hardy shirt.
You're gonna have to practice on this dead pig, and then whoever wins the challenge at the end of it is gonna win a whole dead pig. You're gonna win the locket from around my neck. It's been cursed by a witch.
You're gonna win my locket. It's full of all my ex-wife's ashes.
My ex-wife's ashes.
She's not dead. She was just really dry.
We went to the beach too often.
That fucking pussy bitch.
I hate that guy so much. I would beat that guy up if I saw. I'm not literally. I don't provoke or invoke violence. What were we talking about?
Goth ants, huh?
I don't know. Foo Fighters or Dave Grohl band, I guess.
Yeah. We're Red Hot Chili Peppers. So basically, yeah, he was in I think Foo Fighters for a little bit too, wasn't he?
John Frusciante?
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna Google it.
Yeah, but no.
Let's just say yes.
But there was but like those are the guys, like they have very distinct playing styles, but they have been playing long enough that they've inspired people that are perfect mimics, I would assume. So that if somebody were like, hey, like the Flea's bass tech could probably stand in for Flea and nobody would notice.
But
Except for they would look over and see another dickhead in a sock.
But then you got to think of the element of because the band, like bands like that are brands. Because like someone could go in and do every Dave Grohl song on the guitar fine, sing his vocals fine.
Yeah.
But then actually back to Foo Fighters or Red Hot Chili Peppers is the best example. Like you got to think of the band as a brand. And I think on the broad scale, I don't think
like
people
women.
Yeah,
like what women think.
When I'm weighing women, I put them on the broad scale.
Well, we put the broads on the scale, right?
But I think if you sort of have like a broad interpretation of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I feel like John Frusciante goes by the wayside.
Yeah.
But like fucking Will Ferrell's drum battled Will Ferrell on the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
He's sort of in pop culture a little bit.
Yeah.
Flea's definitely in pop culture. He's forcing us to see his dick all the time.
All the time.
And then Anthony Kiedis, who when he did his fucking Rogan, I
Where's
go,
the book?
I don't have it with me. I actually, that was one of the which one's this?
Is that it?
Anthony Kiedis' known book, What Government Has Done to Our Money.
Where he admitted to dating a 14-year-old.
Nope, that was Iggy Pop.
No,
I don't think. I think Anthony.
sorry. Every time we bring up a lead singer from like the 70s, 80s, or 90s, you have a book somewhere where you're like, they admitted some pretty hairy shit in this book.
I can't remember, but if he did, he danced around it. But I'm not going to put that on Anthony Kiedis. No, I was going to say,
You're off this time, Kiedis, but we're watching you.
I realized I spent my whole life, and I liked the Chili Peppers a lot when I was younger. That's why I got his book.
The Red Hots?
Those Chili Peppers?
You're on one, and I've never hated and loved something.
I'm feeling real silly. I see the frustration, but you're laughing.
No,
You're
they're
having
good.
a fun time.
They're good every time. You know what it is?
You like the Chili Peppers?
I got myself a little out of silly and on talking, so
Sorry.
I'm not.
You're right.
No.
You're on topic.
I'm not trying to stifle your creativity. It's been A+ this whole time, but I get caught off guard every single time because I'm in talking mode. So all your jokes are sideswiping me.
We got to make more notes. Okay.
No. You're not doing one thing wrong. It's a me thing.
But you like the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I used to love the Red Hots. But I spent the whole time. It wasn't until Anthony Kiedis did Joe Rogan's podcast, and I go, "That's what he sounds like."
Oh yeah, you didn't know that,
Dude, because he's just like, "Hey, Joe Rogan," he sounded like fucking Tiny Tim.
Yeah,
he was like, "Oh, just love doing heroin and playing my white guy funk."
Sometimes I just hang out under the bridge, and I just
I'm Anthony Kiedis. He sounds like Tally. Hey, you guys want to do some heroin and play white guy reggae?
He's like Mike Tyson in Tally mixed.
I'm Anthony Kiedis.
Hey, you guys do heroin?
But I think to the masses that aren't locked in on the peps, it's like you can get rid of Frusciante, and not be a big problem.
Yeah.
But if you look at it from the Red Hot Chili Peppers brand, especially with the fact that they only got 4 of them, I feel like getting rid of anyone kind of goes against the brand, and then people are like, it wouldn't hurt them. They would still sell out shows, but it would probably be like a slow decline or something.
Yeah, and also all those fans, the Frenchettes that are standing out there in the crowd holding their cardboard machetes that they made with his name on it. They would be upset. All the flea heads, all the flea bags out there,
they would be upset.
Because that's what happens. He goes up to the mic and he goes, "Hey, let me hear all those flea bags out there." Boing, 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 boing.
The Flea's such a good example of shit where you're like,
An acceptable dickhead, like Flavor Flav.
yeah, Flea would suck ass at a party.
Oh my
If
god, I would
Flea-
not want to talk to that fella.
If Flea showed up to your party, sorry, we're cooking. I don't want to talk about that other thing.
Let's cook.
If Flea showed up to your party and like fleed the fuck out,
Yeah.
you'd be like, ooh, that guy, don't let that guy drink anymore.
First of
no
all,
one,
Flea-
no one give him any coke.
First of all, Flea, use a coaster. Second of all, put a shirt on.
You know, Flea doesn't use fucking coasters.
Put a shirt on. Put a fucking coaster under that thing. Why did you bring your own drink? We told you there was gonna be stuff here.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but like, and because like the big thing when you were growing up were like, besides the music, people would always big up the Chili Peppers on. They'd be like, dude, they come out and they're like fucking naked and they only got socks over their dicks. And like
Yeah.
when you're younger and you're a kid, you're just like, oh, that's so fucking cool and so
Right.
fucking badass. And then you get older and you're like, that guy probably sucks.
Yeah.
But then it makes you-
Nobody's me tooing these guys.
but then it makes you like hate the bands more
Yeah.
because it's like you were doing this as adults.
Yeah.
So it's like, have you guys just been retarded children your whole life?
Yeah, it's like it's really taking what like entertainers or artists or anybody want to do for granted. You know what I mean? Like it's the thing of like, yes, we sit around all day and we watch the things we like, and then we dick around and slowly get ready throughout the day. You're not supposed to like rub it in everyone's face that like, I don't, this is my job, and just wave your dick around.
But I
Like-
think it's more of a critique on the consumers than the artist, because
Yeah.
it was always like my complaint when people would shit on, because like I would always get annoyed when people would be like, Jared Leto's a bad actor. And I'd be like, I'd be like, well, why he's a bad actor? And they'd always come down to something in his personal life about why he's a dickhead. And you're like, no. We're not talking about if he's a dickhead or not. We're talking about if he's a good actor or not. And he's a great actor. And you don't get great acting unless you let them be a dickhead who's a cult leader.
Yeah. yeah. You kind of have to let up.
So it's the same thing with Flea. It's like, from an entertainment standpoint, I want that dude to be fucking Peter Pan
just
and
not
Neverland.
around me.
Never growing up. It's when because people have such an emotional attachment to their artists that they love, that they also fill in the blanks on everything else. And it's like, well, I love them, so they have to be a good person. And it's like, no, it's just stop. So like, then the artist will come out and be like, this is how I feel about the election, and this is how I feel about this worldly issue. And it's like, all of us who are just kind of more normal people, it's like your job to go to that and just go, oh yeah, that's cool. Can you play the bass again?
One of the best things I've ever. Yeah, that's a great fucking point, because like one of the
I know, dude. I'm in great point mode. I got no time for goofing.
no, you're probably back in a great point mode. The best gift I ever got was when Fat Mike started a podcast, because I was like, oh, I don't ever want to talk to him. He seems like insufferable to talk to.
Yeah.
He like him and Doug Stanhope did a podcast early on, and I remember thinking like, okay, maybe he's just like a little shy or like awkward or weird or like that's just who he is, and he's entertaining on stage, but when he's trying to entertain via podcast form, it was not entertaining.
Mhm.
And it was one of those things of like, how many times have I drafted an email of like, hey, would you like to come on my podcast? We could do it through Zoom or whatever it may be over the years. And like, now I'm not so quick to just send those out to everybody.
Yeah.
Even if I'm like, but you like the same things I do, and I like the same things you do. Like, when you said that one thing, I really liked it. You know, like, because
You just Chris Farley in that.
yeah, you take the microscope away. You're like, okay, you're a fan of his, and if you're just going to sit there and tell him how much you like the things that he did or why you like the things he
Yeah.
did, or ask him questions about that stuff, it's going to be weird. But then if you're going to let him steer the conversation, or we're going to talk about things he's interested in, it's going to be insufferable for you, because it's going to be a lot of Rocky Horror Picture Show
See-
and fucking dumb shit that you're like, I don't like.
I'm-
I don't like those things either. So you're like, you know what? We'll just meet where I like the art you put out, and that's it. We don't ever have to. But we're like Tai, we like the art that they put out,
Yeah.
and we like the person.
Yeah. And Tai is a good example, because it's like, this isn't like
And that happened naturally.
This isn't like it happened naturally.
yeah.
This isn't like a broad application
You talking
to
about women?
you got back into
Sorry,
you got back into
I
sleep
jumped back
real
in.
quick.
I slipped back in. I leaned back. I was like, whoa.
Nah, dude.
I slipped
Never
on a banana peel.
Pat, do me a big favor. Never fucking change. But no, it's not like an overarching
Yeah.
rule. It's just with certain types. So like Fat Mike's a good example. I would interview Fat Mike and keep it in his realm because I look at a guy like that. Because I told you I read their book and I was like, oh, Fat Mike's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
Like he's just
Yeah,
like he's just a dude that will not adjust to be like any bit of comment. Well, he will a little, but it's like he's a dickhead about it. And but when you get some of these artists, like some of the more extreme examples, like a dude like Prince, he's a guy who, when he was alive, you're like, yeah, let him do his, because that's becoming a popular artist, becoming a popular musician. You give the world a lot of like great shit, and we listen to this music. It becomes a soundtrack to our day. We put a lot of emotional attachment to it, and it honestly, like, not to sound kind of lame, but it does give, I listen to good music and it makes my day better. And it's like, it's a part of your life experience and stuff. So by doing that, what they've earned from that is they get to live in fairy tale land.
Yeah.
But while they're living in fairy tale land, we all have to acknowledge that they're living in fairy tale land and just like act accordingly, not act accordingly, but like understand that and then proceed with that information still inside you.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to be like, Fat Mike, what do you think about climate change and stuff? I'm going to be like, hey, Fat Mike, why do you come so weird all the time? Why does everything weird make you come? Because I get fascinated with people like that. Because a dude like Fat Mike, a dude like Prince, a dude like Anthony Kiedis, they are 1,000 miles away from who I'll ever be.
Yeah.
So in like an interview setting, I'd be very welcoming to be like, hey, you be 100% your weird self, and please try to give me a view into what the fuck is your world.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the topics or the things. Like sometimes, yes, you can. I feel confident that with any of those people you just named, I could have a very good conversation with them or interview, like you said, like if you're specifically interviewing them or asking them for an exact amount of time.
Yeah.
But like if it's like the hang, like who do I think I would be best buddies with? So like somebody that would be a contrary to that, somebody that I would think maybe I would never be able to necessarily connect with, that maybe he's way too smart for me. Somebody like Keith Buckley, right? I talked to that guy for an hour and had a very pleasant and like relatable conversation.
Yeah.
That if I wasn't so in the mindset of, oh my God, it's fucking Keith Buckley, like it probably could have been an even cooler interaction.
Yeah.
But like, as far as like certain things, so like you can never necessarily judge a book by its cover, but it's also a situation where it's not just finding common ground, but like who would you want to hang out with or come to a party or like, catch up with, or who do you think you would ever connect with? And it would be like, and just getting the mentality from those podcasts I heard Fat Mike on, I'm like, oh, I don't think I would. Realistically, I think he's a cool guy. I still think we could interview him, but as far as like hanging out with him or relating to him in any way, I don't know if there's any possibility.
Yeah, I think that's a really good distinction. We were talking earlier, Flea. I go, hey, what's your process? Also, how are you not dead?
Yeah, yeah.
But then if like it was like, do we invite Flea to the party? I go,
he's gonna be like, we're watching this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shut up.
He's gonna, we're gonna be at the party. And he's gonna be like, hey, do you have anything I can hang from? He definitely he's at home.
Put your shirt on.
He's at home hanging from his feet from something right now.
Yeah, like and that's him. That's why we get the art we get from him. But like, that's him. That's the distinction people don't put on these performers, where you're like, that's them. It's like they understand it with their friends. They have their friends they'll hang out with, but they would never let them babysit. People, you always see people made the jokes or whatever, like celebrities, they're just like us or whatever, those kind of things. Like there's always those tabloids or those headlines of like, oh, look, Ben Affleck's having a shitty day just like you.
Yeah.
But that's the thing you need to realize is like when they say shit like that, they're not just trying to remind you that they're still human. We're not idiots. Like we know that these are just human artists that live in
Trying
a,
to sell
live in
the
a different
brand to
world.
you.
But they're also saying they're just like you. They also could be they could be a bad driver. You may not like the way that they handle social situations like line cutting or something like that.
Dude,
You might not like the personality of the real person. You like the personality, but you may not like the personality.
you know what I think it is? And because I thought about this, I was talking to someone about this recently, where one of the big things they hate about like celebrity culture and how we treat celebrities, how we treat politicians. It's like, dude, back in the day, like everyone knew, like, okay, I like you in this movie, but like no one looked up to actors.
Yeah.
No, and I think that's the problem now, because becoming a celebrity is much more, it's much more attainable and stuff like that. You know, there's so many there's so many avenues to become a celebrity and just become known.
Yeah.
That there's much more like, so if you're going to do this celebrity worship, you're not going to worship someone who's a dickhead. So you fill in the blanks in your head,
Yeah.
and you go like, oh, but they're also cool with this and they're also cool with that.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge problem why have people have a strong.
That's why they're like, I used to like Tenacious D, but they just gone too far now.
Yeah. And
They're just a little too political for me. And it's like, what?
that's why I always say,
He made one joke.
that's why I always say when like people make, and I don't feel this way about Tenacious D, but like people try to cancel people because they make like one off color comment. And I always bring it, like I said earlier, I always bring it back. I was like, you don't have that one friend that just says insane shit that you go like, that's fucking crazy, but
Yeah.
you're fun to drink with. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like celebrities are just people too. It's the same fucking thing. They're really good at one thing, and then they're probably a fucking shithead somewhere else.
Keep your friends close, your enemies closer, and those crazy people that say things at arm's length.
Yeah.
But
As long
keep
as they're
an
not-
eye on them.
as long
Keep
as they're
an
not-
eye on those people.
As long as they're not dangerous, keep
Right.
them around to
Yeah,
laugh.
like, and they say something again, and you're like, he probably doesn't mean that. They're like, yeah, he doesn't even have a car. He can't get there.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I think we did the damn thing.
We did everything.
We did all of it.
You guys didn't have to do anything. We appreciate you being here, though.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, we'll be back here every Friday as long as everything goes according
Every
to plan.
single Friday, no matter what happens.
Till the end of time.
I'm not going to overpromise, but I'm going to say every single Friday from here on out for next 2 years
Perfect. All right.
without fail.
Thanks for hanging out. We love you all. Have a good one. Be about it. Peace.
2 years. You heard me. That's a verbal contract.